Of course I want you to be happy. I want that more than anyone in the world. Except Mama Josephine and Pop Richard Curry, but I like to think I was third. You forget, I was always there, okay? Through the relationships that didn't work out, through the broken hearts and the tears of frustration.
What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from ACONNECTIONTV here on YouTube. The one place in the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. Excuse me. And welcome to my channel. If this is your first time seeing me, definitely follow me on all social medias, Twitter and Instagram at ACONNECTIONTV. And yeah, let's talk about it. This core convo is going to be an interesting conversation. One that I think might have people confused, but I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. I feel that I can speak the way that I want to speak in this particular video because I am gay, okay, and I've been on this earth for quite some time, and these are my opinions and my beliefs, okay? They could be wrong. You may think they're wrong. You may disagree. You have that right. But this video is not being made to offend anyone or make anyone feel lesser than or whatever the case may be. Everyone can live in their space and I can still have my opinion, right? Such is the world. So hopefully you have an open mind when you watch this video. I don't know what I'm gonna title this video. Maybe being gay and being trans, or something about trans and understanding trans and gay, or whatever. But we're gonna talk about it. I had a comment left on one of my videos. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Let's face it.
From Whitney Taylor, it says, as a parent, I am not afraid of clothing making kids gay. I agree with you. If you're gay, you've always been that way. My question is, why are they promoting transgenderism to children? I'm learning a lot right now and don't have all the answers. I would appreciate your view, and this was a good video. Thank you so much for that. Why are they promoting transgenderism to children? My response to that is because kids know at an early age when they feel different. The same way that I knew at the age of 5, 6 that I was interested and or was curious about boys, I'm, in my mind, the way that I feel, I'm pretty sure trans people have similar experiences, because not all trans have the same experience, but some trans people have a similar experience to where they are young and they feel like they are in the wrong body. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and because I've thought this way for a long time, but I've never like verbalized it and put it out there publicly because, you know, everyone has their opinion and they're gonna say I'm wrong. With all of the science out there in the world and how we've advanced in medicine, and I don't know if this is out there. I've just not seen it in the 42 years I've been on this earth, or I've heard it in the 42 years that I've been on earth. No one has ever made mention of how you know, the male and the female come together, mix and blend their juices, and then create life. Oftentimes, people come out very different, okay? Depending on the mom, depending on the dad. You know, they mix up their juices and pop out a baby. Sometimes, you know, the child can be a little bit on the woman's side, get the femininity from the woman, you know. And sometimes the child can be more a little bullish and brolic and masculine, get that from the man's side. Sometimes the child has green eyes, get that from the mother's side. Sometimes the child has brown eyes, get that from the daddy's side. Sometimes the child looks like the daddy, sometimes the child looks like the mommy. You know, when you're cooking up something and you put way too much salt into it and it's very salty and you can't eat it anymore, I feel like that's what happens when everybody is born. Okay, you have some people that come out with, you know, birth defects. Some people come out missing a finger. Some people come out missing a toe. the parents mix and mingle and put all their ingredients in there to pop out a child. Okay? And I feel like for gay people, speaking on the G and not everyone else, before people get all up in arms, for the G, because I'm a part of the G, for gay people, I feel like for the majority of us that feel that we were born this way, I feel that it works the same way. I feel that in the mix of being cooked, we got a little bit too much of the feminine ingredient from the mom and not enough of the, the pepper ingredient from the dad. And so we ended up on the gayer side of things. We ended up on the liking the same sex kind of thing the way that a woman does. We ended up liking more feminine things about women and this is not all gays. Please, for the slow people in the back. We ended up liking the pocketbooks and the Barbie doll. Because when I was young, I liked all that feminine stuff. I loved it all. I wanted to play with the Barbies. I wanted to do the hair. I wanted to do the makeup. I wanted to dress up in like my mom did, Storm from X-Men is my favorite, X-Men superhuman mutant character, period. Because she's a woman and she's black and she's powerful as hell. Rainbow Bright, My Little Pony, all of the feminine things back in the day, I was attracted to. And I had so many men around me telling me, no, no, no. Just like women. Women are attracted to those feminine things naturally. A lot of women are. Not all. A lot of women are. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I've always felt like when I was cooking in the pot that I got a little bit more of my feminine juices from my mom, and I didn't get a lot of my father's stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so realistically, for me, I popped out feeling these feelings and yearning for the attention of men and wanting to be with a man and all of that and being attracted to a man. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why people can't get the concept of naturally getting a hard on for what you naturally get a hard on for. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I see women, nothing happened for me. Nothing. It never happened for me when I saw a chick, ever. You know what I'm saying? How can you explain that? How is that taught? You know what I'm saying? Like, how is that you watch a movie and now it pops in your head and now, you can no longer, it just doesn't make sense, right? It's within me. I was made this way, And so because of the world that I live in, not wanting men to be feminine back in the 80s, especially the black community, I had to navigate through this awkward human space of fitting in so that I could literally survive. I was bullied in school, not often, but it was a thing. And, my cousins and my family would tell me, hey, you can't play with Barbie doll. You got to play with G.I. Joes. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was brainwashed into being something that I didn't want to be so that I could survive. Why people don't make that kind of connection and distinction with kids is beyond me. I don't understand why a lot of our minds are so small that the way that straight people are able to, ride this wave through world and figure shit out, gays and trans people can't do the same thing. It would be interesting to hear a trans person say that they've not had that experience in terms of that being natural for them and feeling like they were in the wrong body. The same way that as a gay person, it was natural for me to want to be in a more feminine space, but then be told that that's not what I'm supposed to do, so I have to go here. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I've reached the people sitting in the front. The people in the back stay in the back. But everything that I'm saying, that's my life journey. That's how I make the connection and the distinction with me. Because it just makes sense. And if nothing else makes sense, why am I not able to get a hard on for women ever in my life? Ever. And why are there men that can? They see a woman, yeah, ooh. I've never had any of those emotions.
Could you please say that again?
I've never had those emotions, ever. And so you can't tell me that that was discovered or I was taught not to have these emotions, because since I've been young, all the world has been telling me is to have sex with women and have kids and be the man. That's what's been instilled in me, but I've deflected against that because that's not my journey. And so I go back to Whitney Taylor and I say, kids know at a very young age when they are different, when they feel different, when there's something, quote unquote, as the world would see it, off with them because they're not like everyone else. I don't know why, like Whitney Taylor, you didn't like, and maybe you didn't, maybe this is not your story, but you mean to tell me you weren't attracted to boys? I'm not saying that you're not or wasn't, but I'm asking. You weren't attracted to boys at a young age? You didn't find boys attractive? Because I know we got people out here with kids at 15, 16. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we got some, and I'm not saying this is you, but I know there are some fast women out there that be chasing down the boys. You know? And the way a lot of these kids are being groomed nowadays, we have kids being sensationalized on Instagram, young girls being sensationalized on Instagram because they're that thing, and they're walking down in their Giuseppe pajamas and their hair is done and greased up with the little baby hairs, and they got earrings and they're wearing blush, already grooming these kids to be on Love and Hip Hop or to be that it star girl. You know what I'm saying? So as much as kids are already groomed and conditioned to be heading in one direction, and that's the heteronormative direction, naturally, right? Because the majority of the world is of that. So it's only natural that you're of the majority of the world. I mean, that's just not how humans or animals work. There are a lot of other species on the face of this earth that deal in same-sex situations. We're just the only ones that make it a big deal. So with regards to transgenderism or transgenderizing kids, it's normal. It should be normal to tell a child you are supported in the way you feel and the way your mind is. Because if this is a homegrown, I'm homegrown. I came out the vagina like this. There are a lot of us that are homegrown, okay? And then there are those over there that decided to change their life in the midst of whatever happened to them. They exist, but I'm homegrown, okay? There are a lot of homegrown trans people out there that at a young age felt like they were in the wrong body. It's very difficult for people that don't have that brain capacity or brain wave, I don't know, to figure out how that works. But how a straight person naturally goes through the world feeling how they want to feel and loving that woman or loving that man and it being okay and it being accepted because the mass majority already feels the way that they do. Oh, it's unheard of for anyone to feel different. That's weird. That's not okay. All of these people, majority of these people that are saying kids should be kids, y'all wanted to F Jimmy down the street. Y'all wanted to F Susie Q. All the young boys was watching their older brothers jerking off to like Playboy and Playgirl or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And wanting to do the same thing at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids are already directed when they're born. Me, I was directed not to play with feminine toys. I was directed to play sports. I was directed to play basketball because I'm from the hood and I'm black and I was taller than most. Kids are already directed. It's just that a lot of us as individuals feel that the way that we're directing children is the right way. And unfortunately, because trans people are still so unheard of and still so foreign, even though they've existed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years before us, it's documented. They're not mainstream, they're not normal. So kids wanting to think that way is just unheard of. It's not. And parents just need to understand that just because they were made a certain way doesn't mean that their kids are going to be made the same. And we have to respect the wants, the needs, and the concerns of our children, because unfortunately, my life is the way that it is because I had to make it this way. I had no constructive criticism as a child growing up with parents. Parents didn't guide me in any which way. I had to carve my own existence outside of my family because I wasn't supposed to be gay. I'm just one of the lucky ones that was fortunate enough not to commit suicide. You know what I'm saying? And believe that was the only way out. So when we have a lot of parents out here that look at their kids and say, "You're not supposed to do this. What are you doing? This is wrong. Da 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 da. I don't want you if you're gay." Speaking on my experience, because I can't speak for trans and I can't speak for everybody else in the alphabet clan before everybody else get all upset. Speaking from my experiences, and hopefully, I'm not even going to say hopefully, I know there are a lot of other people in the alphabet clan that can adopt similar connections despite our differences. It's very important for our parents, the people that we look up to, the people that brought us into this world, the people that poured all their ingredients into this pot to create us. It's important for us to know that we are accepted by the people that created us. And if we're not accepted by the people that created us, then we're already at a disadvantage, let alone dealing with the bull crap in the world. So I implore and I urge all the parents to think beyond their heteronormative ways, even though it's so natural to them, to think beyond that and understand that the way that you were made over here is the same way that this person was made over here. They just got a little bit more sauce. They just got a little bit more salt. They just got a little bit more pepper. But they were still made over here. They still are deserving of a spot on earth. And they still need you as mom and dad to accept them so that they and y'all as a unit can fight the world. Because this trans child, this lesbian child, this non-binary child, this queer child, this gay child is still having to fight the world outside of the house. It starts at home. And it ends up being better if it starts at home and is formed at home so that the kid can be successful. I'm Wesley from ACONNECTIONTV, the network. Definitely subscribe if you aren't subscribed. And I appreciate you for listening. Leave your comments below this video. And happy Pride, bitches! Yeah, deuces.